Hi, this is Paul saying, thanks for joining us today and watching or listening to this post. We hope that you enjoy this material. In 2014, about 10 years ago, my esteemed and respected brother, Tom Holland, approached me about us doing a podcast, an audio message that he wanted to send to as many as he could. He referred to it as Standing Up for America. And while it was certainly important, very relevant, urgently needed at that time, even now 10 years later, the message is even more important. We're going to pause from doing the Toms Porch for a few weeks, and I would like to encourage you to listen to the audio message of Brother Tom Holland as he speaks about America, the love that he had for this country. He's already gone on to meet his reward, but he loved America passionately. And the research and the thoughts that he presented are worthy of our time. And now, Brother Tom Holland about America.
This is Tom Holland urging you, pleading with you, stand up for the good in America, for the good of all Americans. There are millions of good people in this country that love this land. There are people who have sacrificed and sacrificed for this country. I think of all the parents who sacrificed their sons and daughters in war to preserve the freedom that was given to us by the shedding of so much American blood. I think about the good people in this country. The media seems not to know too much about. They're just honest people. They have integrity. They have a good work ethic. They go to their jobs. They pay their taxes. They support their families. They're benevolent in their hearts. And when there is a catastrophe caused by floods or storms, these people will respond generously with time, with material things, because it is ingrained in the American psyche to be benevolent toward people who are in distress and in need. We have been emphasizing the emphases that has been given by past presidents of this country, emphasizing the relationship of faith in God, faith in the Bible, and the kind of nation that those people built. And we have been asking this question: are those people today, the atheists that are trying to get "in God we trust" off our money, all the atheists and professors all over this land who have an agenda to try to destroy faith in God and faith in the Bible, to make it seem sophisticated, to be unbelievers? Are these people real, true patriots according to George Washington's testimony? Or are they un-American? We've asked you to be the judge. I want to read a statement or two now from a president. I remember the time when he was president. I was a very young person, and yet when Franklin D. Roosevelt was president, we were engaged in World War II. Here are some statements that Franklin D. Roosevelt made in his State of the Union to Congress in 1939. And it was a time when Hitler was on the move in Europe, and President Roosevelt said, and I'm quoting him, "Storms from abroad directly challenge the three institutions indispensable to Americans now as always. The first is religion. It is the source of the other two, democracy and international good faith. Religion, by teaching man his relationship to God, gives the individual a sense of his own dignity and teaches him to respect himself by respecting his neighbors. Democracy, the practice of self-government, is a covenant among free men to respect the rights and liberties of their fellows. International good faith, a sister of democracy, springs from the will of civilized nations of men to respect the rights and liberties of other nations of men. In a modern civilization, all three, religion, democracy, and international good faith, complement and support each other. Still repeating what Roosevelt said, where freedom of religion has been attacked, the attack has come from sources opposed to democracy. I want to repeat that. I want to repeat that by reminding you that in universities all over this land, religion is being attacked. I want to remind you that in a liberal media, religion is under attack. And so now back to what President Roosevelt declared, quoting him, where freedom of religion has been attacked, the attack has come from sources opposed to democracy. Where democracy has been overthrown, the spirit of free worship has disappeared. And where religion and democracy have vanished, good faith and reason in international affairs have given way to strident ambition and brute force. An ordering of society which relegates religion, democracy, and good faith among nations to the background can find no place within it for the ideals of the Prince of Peace. The United States rejects such an ordering and retains its ancient faith. There comes a time in the affairs of men when they must prepare to defend not their homes alone, but the tenets of faith and humanity on which their churches, their governments, and their very civilization are founded. The defense of religion, democracy, and of good faith among nations is all the same fight. To save one, we must now make up our minds to save all. End of quote from former President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Many of us remember President Roosevelt. He was crippled by polio. And if you have visited the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, and have seen his plane, the presidential plane, you saw the lift that would pull him up so he could be in his own office there on the plane. But I'll tell you, when I think back upon this man and the respect that he had for the correlation of democracy and religion, I'm pretty well convinced in my mind that these people today, and I don't care how high they may be in the media, they may be controlling the three main television networks, they may be controlling some of the prominent newspapers in this country, and they may be professors in universities. But I say without fear of contradiction that the people who are trying to destroy faith in God in this great land of ours are our enemies within. I know this is strong language, but from my perspective, these people are un-American.
Same Publications appreciates your being with us today and listening or watching this material. Be glad to help you in any way in the future.